Let me tell you something that might catch you off guard. At the heart of a marble palace where money was supposed to buy everything, a 12-year-old boy walked in with nothing but his name and walked out with the one thing money couldn't buy: respect. I know, sounds like something out of a movie, right? But it happened, and honestly, you can still feel the echoes today every time someone tries to pull rank with nothing but their last name. Now, I want you to picture this Wellington crest, a private school perched up in the hills, all polished marble, glass, and that soft hush that comes from money being everywhere and manners just paper thin enough to see right through. Every morning, a procession of black town cars and sparkling SUVs drops off kids with last names heavy enough to open doors in half the city. That's where Tara Carter fits in well. Not really fits, more like sits quietly at the front of class, hands folded, eyes sharp, waiting to be told where he doesn't belong. That was just the way it went at Wellington Crest. Tarek was always on time, always neat, always that kid teachers liked, but the other kids just tolerated. You know what I mean? One particular morning, Mrs. Welling is at the front, talking metaphors into Kill, a Mockingbird classic. Right? Room goes dead quiet. Then Tarek, steady as ever, raises his hand and drops an answer so good you could see the teacher's lips twitch, fighting a smile. That's when Camille Whitmore, who lives to see herself reflected in other people's discomfort, tosses her head and fires off a line. You just knew she's practiced in front of a mirror. Wow. Didn't know they let the help audit classes now. Cold. Every eye in the room flicks over, some laugh, most don't. But no one stops her. Her dad's name is carved in gold on half the hotel lobbies in town. After all, you might think Tarek would lose his cool, but he doesn't, not even close. He lets it slide, just keeps his eyes on the page, but you could see, if you look close enough, how every word just settled in him, heavy but not breaking him. Camille whispers again, something about charity cases, and all the teachers do is look away, same as always. Power moves quiet when it's scared. Tarek just waits for the bell, stays in his seat a little longer, like he knows if he rushes, he loses. Camille struts past, flicking her bag. Not every room is meant for everyone, she tosses over her shoulder. That's her, always making sure everyone knows who belongs and who's just passing through. But here's where things get interesting. Saturday morning, over at Solaria Resort, the whole place hums with that expensive kind of silent staff tiptoeing, breakfast tables dressed up like weddings, Camille in her element, sunglasses and attitude dialed up to 11, treating the staff like they're furniture with hands. She's there, making scenes over the temperature of her water and the flakiness of her croissant, acting like running the staff ragged is her birthright. Out of nowhere, she spots someone at the lobby, someone who's not supposed to fit in with all that glass and gold. It's Tarek, walking up to the front desk, calm as ever. Camille's eyes go wide, and I swear, you could see the gears turning. What's he doing here? She storms in, full of righteous fury, cutting off the receptionist and raising her voice for everyone to hear. Is someone going to explain why this person is at our front desk? She shouts. Drama queen, turn up to 10. The staff freezes. Tarek doesn't back down, just says, quiet and clear, my mother booked the suite. I'm checking in. Camille laughs, sharp as glass. Your mom? Oh, please. What does she do? Sweep the floors. Now, the manager, Richard Whitmore, Camille's dad, shows up, sees Tarek, and doesn't even look at the computer. He just grabs Tarek by the arm, loud enough for everyone to see. You need to leave. This is private property. He barks, all bravado and zero fact-checking. And right when he's making a scene, in walks Amelia Carter, Tarek's mom. You ever see a room freeze in real time? That's what happened. She's got this calm, commanding energy power suit, eyes cold as steel, and when she sees her son's arm in Richard's grip, she doesn't raise her voice, doesn't rush. Just says, take your hand off my son. That's it. Every head turns. Richard starts stammering, trying to recover, but Amelia is already flipping open her badge. CEO of Carter Legacy Hotels, owner of the whole damn building. The lobby goes silent. She asks Monica, the receptionist, to confirm the booking. Monica, hands shaking, checks and says, yes, ma'am, everything is in order. Tarek's name, early check-in, VIP service, all there. Amelia turns back, voice like a blade. You judged my son not by his name, not by policy, but by the way he looked. You assaulted a child, a guest, on property I own. You could see Richard shrink with every word, the crowd soaking it up, staff and guests both. And then comes the twist. Camille, for the first time, tries to defend herself. He didn't look like he belonged, okay? Everyone thought it. Amelia shuts her down with a single look. You use your father's power to bully, to threaten, to exclude someone for no other reason than your own arrogance. The fallout is swift and public. Amelia fires Richard on the spot, right there in front of everyone revokes his access, calls security to escort him out, and lets the whole lobby watch as the Whitmore power slips away in real time. The aftermath? Let's just say what goes around comes around. Richard's reputation tank security footage gets out, staff back up Tarek's story, and suddenly the Whitmore name, once all gold and velvet ropes, is more like a warning sign. Camille, stripped of her father's clout, loses her spot at Wellington Crest, her friends ghost her, and she ends up registering at public school, sweater a little too big, eyes not so quick to judge. Tarek, for his part, doesn't brag, doesn't gloat. He just goes on, steady as ever, finishing the year strong, heading to a summer mentorship program for young leaders, walking through rooms where no one questions if he belongs because the truth finally outshone the rumor. Amelia, meanwhile, turns the whole mess into a company-wide lesson training on bias, new policies, promotions for staff who stood up and told the truth. No PR scandal, just doing what's right because it's right, not because you have to. And as for Camille, no teary apology, no miracle change of heart, but for the first time in her life, she has to stand under her own name, with no shadow to hide her. That burns more than anything Tarek or his mother could have done. Sometimes, justice doesn't need applause. It just needs to stand on its own and be seen for what it is. Now, let me ask you, is this real justice, or just another swing of the pendulum? When power shifts, who really learns, and who just hides until the coast is clear? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and let's talk about what fairness looks like, because stories like this, they don't just happen in movies. They happen right here, every day, when someone finally stands up and says, enough.